Koş 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 nereye kadar? Bu dünyanın bir sonu var. Ama bende dur yok, dur da beni de sal.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this episode of English Tricks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And today we're talking about Menajerimi episode 18. Now, if you're new here, please do me a favor and click that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't done so, click that subscribe button because I review so many different Turkish series, movies. We just do fun things here on this channel. So today, let's get into Menajerimi episode 18. Now, guys, it was quite a bit of an interesting episode here. Everything was a little bit mixed up. We ended last week's episode with Maida saying, hey, we need to know who Dicle's father is or whatever, and he's part of the company. And so, you know, who is he? And Kirat was about to tell her that he was her dad, and instead Dicle lied and said that it was the actor guy, which I think was the worst mistake she could have made, because now it just looks like Kirat just participated in more of a lie to his wife, which will just make the situation completely worse. But anyway, Kirat finds out from Dicle, who else knows, and he basically threatens them to silence, which makes it even more scary because it's like you're all carrying this scary secret. What if one day the guy comes and then someone mistakenly says something, which is probably going to happen later on in the series, and then everyone will find out that that's not her father, and then when the truth is finally revealed, which he has to eventually tell his wife sometime. I mean, you can't say, you know, till death do us part, and you just keep this one lie from your wife the entire time. That's crazy. But anyway, let's keep it moving. And so Maida finds out from her dad that he wants to sell the company to someone else, and there was actually a deal, but the deal fell through, and she confides in Beren and tells Beren about it, and Beren of course tells Serkan, because she tells Serkan everything, and then all of a sudden Serkan, you know, goes in and purchases the company for $1 million. Now, here's the thing. Didn't she just buy the company? I mean, I feel like she bought the company like 5 episodes ago. What is that, a week? 2 weeks? It can't be more than that. But maybe it is for them. Maybe it's like, you know, a month, 2 months. But why would her father initially make an investment that was already failing? You know, you buy a failing company for your daughter, which is what he said, and rich people do that, so I guess that's a thing. But I just found it very weird. Like, within 2-3 months, you're already trying to sell this company that you just bought, literally. But I guess people do that in the business world, and so he ends up selling the company to Serkan, and I just don't understand why Beren is so, like, incompetent. For me, she just has no sense of whatever, but she does end up telling Barış about it, and then Barış ends up confiding in Fetish, and Fetish is like, what's going on? But here's the thing. The secret is passing around while it's happening, and yet Maida is not telling the staff anything. All she does is tell the staff that they can't spend money on buying any actors any gifts, and they can't spend money on their Christmas party, which they do invite their actors to the Christmas party. And Perihanım, she decides to pay for the entire party so it can be just as grand. And by the time Maida had already told them not to buy the gifts, they had already bought their gifts, so everybody basically sent the gifts that they already bought. So, I mean, it is fair because they bought it prior to her saying anything like that. And so they didn't buy it out their own pocket, they bought it with company money, which they didn't have a budget for. But at the same time, Serkan goes out and buys all of them gifts as well. And he bought this for them before he was going to take over the company or had any idea that the company was up for sale or anything like that. And so it kind of maybe worked in his favor favor doing that. But you know, when some of the actors come in, I'm very interested in their stories. Like, you know, this guy with the whole car issue gets nervous behind the wheel of a car, and then we have this Korean actor who speaks fluent Turkish and stuff. But their storylines really didn't interest me in this episode. What did interest me, however, was Fetish constantly flirting with Serkan. I mean, she bounced back real quick from Amir's uncle. Like, she threw Najat out the door, and she just bounced back real quick. And she is like outwardly just throwing herself at this man, and they end up doing the nasty, I think, at the end of the episode. Crazy. And Emre was like having a bit of a conflicting moment with himself, because he felt like Fetish kind of threw him off to the sideways and was favoring Badish over him, even though like a couple of episodes, if you remember, Badish kind of felt the same way, that Fetish was giving Amir more attention than Badish. And so like now the tables have kind of flipped. But DJ did an amazing job going in to negotiate the contract for upcoming work for Amir and Emre, or Amir, I'm getting it mixed up. But then at the same time, Badish and Fetish went in to negotiate for Badish's upcoming work, and they were extremely difficult, and they did not, you know, they wanted to change like basically everything about it and everything, you know, so it kind of worked out that DJ did a better job at it, and so Amir ended up getting the gig and Badish ended up not getting the gig, and it was okay with that. I mean, congratulations to DJ for doing an amazing job. They even wanted to hire her, but let's keep it moving. And so they end up doing this Christmas party. Now remember, DJ and Badish are still going back and forth. Badish keeps telling her things. Actually, they went to the art event first. Badish was not going to come, but told DJ he was going to come. And then when he hears Emre in the background, then he decides he's going. And obviously DJ went just to see him. And so when Badish ends up going, he ends up surprising her in one of the dark theaters again. And they kind of flirted back and forth here and there during the event. But eventually, you know, he walks her, you know, I think he walks her completely home or takes her home or whatever, and they kind of have their conversations, but nothing happens. Now at the Christmas party, she's looking everywhere for him, he's looking everywhere for her. They all of a sudden, the party forms this conga line, and all of a sudden they spot each other, and the sparks are like shooting all over the place, and both his brother and her friend see, like, they're like, oh, you know what's going on, and yeah, I know what's going on. And then all of a sudden DJ decides to go on the patio outside so she can call her mom for Christmas, and then Badish comes outside and tells DJ she won the bet, which I don't even really understand the bet. Can somebody explain to me what the bet was in the comment? But anyway, he tells her that she won the bet, and then she ends up telling him, I forgot what she even told him to do, because I just knew the kiss was coming up any second. And then when she asks Badish, if you'd have won, what would you have asked for? I mean, she knew what he was going to ask for. That's why she asked him, because she felt so, you could tell she felt the drive and the temptation to want to do something. And so then Badish said, I would do something that I would have done a long time ago. She's like, well, what is that? And then they end up making out. But it was really confusing for a split short second, because they kind of flashed to Fetish and Serkan making out, and I was like, whoa, like, what's going on with Badish and DJ? But no, they had a little bit of a makeout session, and then that's kind of like where we ended the episode. However, Kirac did end up finding out that Serkan bought the company, which is crazy. So obviously he's really upset, and so we're gonna see what happens in the next episode. Maybe he's going to merge both companies together, who knows, because like I don't really get it, and I just want to see what's gonna happen with DJ and Badish. Like, that's my main focus right now, what's gonna happen with DJ and Badish. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I had such a great time watching this show. Don't forget, click that like button, and if you enjoyed this review, click that subscribe button, because I review a lot of other Turkish dizzies, and I'm gonna have one popping up in a few. Bye.